emergency management agency, level other staff of the office of the SSG. The office of the SSG. Before you this afternoon, a team are members of the level to level who have come visiting
permanent secretaries who are representing His Excellency left us. Thereafter, a word of prayer before we deliver our message, if you don't mind. Thank you. Initiative is a non-governmental organization as ably introduced by the Permanent Secretary of Political Affairs. We are non-governmental, non-partisan. We're non-partisan because we represent the people that have no voice. We speak and help the voiceless. That is our intention. We are here in Nassarawa State. We have visited other states, but Nassarawa State is today. We have been monitoring quite succinctly the efforts of the state government in trying to face the challenges that have bedeviled the state. We are particularly here on a visit on the crisis that engulfed Nassarawa State, with particular reference to Obi local government, Kiana local government, and Lafia in Asakio area specifically. We are very much aware of the incidences that have happened, and we have appreciated the effort of the federal government in trying to move in and restore normalcy. We also are very much aware of the efforts of the state government in checking the menace of this communal crisis. We are trying to say that people must dialogue. Dialogue is the first line in which people must engage themselves in discussion. That is the way forward. Violence has never solved any crisis, but dialogue has always had a solution. No war has ever been fought that a solution has never gone back to the table and it has been found. If you fight, you still have to go back to the table to sort out the problem. Why not take the last option, which is dialogue, rather than violence? We have lost a lot of lives, a lot of properties, which were very, very unnecessary. We advise all communities, if they have problems, government should provide an enabling environment for such interface so that communities do not allow such issues to degenerate. We are a non-governmental organization that will avail ourselves whenever there is a need for such interface to be organized. We will provide our speciality and our knowledge to help those communities so that they can find a lasting reason to be together. Secondly, we cannot ably give what has been lost. We can only show a sign of our commitment by the little token to show that we have a commitment and we have a bond with Nassarawa State, that we are committed to whatever it is to alleviate the suffering that has taken place. We will not be able to replace what has been lost. Even if what we are given, we can never ever give life. All we can do is to give a little token of what we have. We want to put it on record that our organization is also commending Nassarawa State government through the State Emergency Management Agency for the various prompt responses which we were made to understand that we are employed into these states. We also want to put on record the efforts of NEMA that also move in with a lot of resources to alleviate the sufferings of all the people that suffer this. We are complementing that and encouraging individuals of goodwill to also join in the struggle to help government achieve its set objective. Government alone cannot do it unless we as a people are committed and put in a little effort. We will not help government to achieve its goals. Soma, we have brought beans, we have brought maize, we have brought millet, we have brought sugar. These are outside there. We'll do the formal presentation when you are ready. But permit me before I sit down to introduce members of my team. They are management team of the Neighbor to Neighbor Initiative. To my immediate right is Haji Aisha Lemu, Mr. Charles Nwajabu. Team is in the research department. Chike is a media group. Jofia is the mobilization. And Akin is head of communications.
Ibrahim Sabo
is our state coordinator. Thank you.
For the fact that you are coming to join us in bringing succor to those who have been having one problem or the other. The governor had wanted to receive you in person, but unfortunately had to leave for some official assignments in Abuja, and he directed that I personally receive you. This underscores the importance that is attached to this group. Not just this group, any group for that comes to Nassarawa State, I'm sure, would always want to come back, because the warmth that they are usually received with leaves, a lot of feelings. We want to state from the beginning that Nassarawa State has always been a very, very peaceful state. I'm sure you've come to know that it is the closest to the federal capital. Therefore, anything that happens in Nassarawa State gets the immediate attention of the federal government. Of all the states contiguous to the FCT, I think Nassarawa State happens to be the closest. Hardly will you step out of Nyanya, you are already in Nassarawa State, as if there is no, demarcation. It's like a continuous state. And Nassarawa State is actually, because of that, is a kind of miniature Nigeria. Almost all the tribes you can think of in Nigeria reside in Nassarawa State. We have, in fact, is the next destination point after Abuja, where you can have a peaceful stay. We have been living together, different religions. Such things have never been a dividing factor in the state. And because of our closeness, that's why unanimously everybody in the state agreed that we be excised out of Plateau State, which we got in 1996. And since then, it has been, a very peaceful environment. Unfortunately, over the years, right from when the civilian administration came in, we started having pockets of crisis here and there. And the worst hit, unfortunately, is this part of the state, the southern senatorial district. I'm sure if you go through the archives, you would come across a lot of things that had happened in the past. Very prominent one was the one that even consumed a paramount ruler. And fortunately, as a people who are desirous of staying together, we quickly put all those things behind us. Things continued without, and I would want to state that it has never been so bad until sometimes last year. We're managing ourselves until we graduated, so to say, negatively from our own communal crisis, which started usually from farmers, herdsmen clashes, which has been perennial. It has been with us. It has been part of the history of, this part of the country. But somehow this snowballed into things that for the first time in the history of Nassarawa State, we came face to face with it. That is when scores of security men who went on, official assignment, normal assignment, were felled. And that really took us off balance, because it has never happened that you have up to almost 100, like 70-something, being killed, in one operation. Fortunately, the government that we have now is a government that has always prided itself on the fact that it came through popular, the people's wish. Therefore, it was very easy for the governor to crisscross. You find him moving from one communal clash to the other, almost on a very regular basis. We had series of crises, ranging from the one we had, you have mentioned some of them, a psycho that was attacked about 2-3 times with great devastation. If you had come about the period that thing happened, you would weep. Because if you look at what a human being could do in a community, it's really, really very, very terrible. To the extent that those people were not just satisfied with driving away people, killing them. Even the trees that provide shelters were fell down, were, cut down. Obi almost had the same situation. Close to it, Adobo, Alaugo, you have Iga. Iga was also visited about twice or so. We have Basa, quite a number of the communities. I think apart from Basa, most of these communities, as I said, are from this side. As if that was not enough, we had this problem again that almost, if not for the maturity of the two governors, Benue and Nassarawa State, would have had a problem. The thieves and the herdsmen, each state accusing, the people, not the government, not the governors, the thieves who are found in the two communities. We have thieves in Nassarawa State, we have thieves in Benue. So we had this incessant crisis between them, which led to the displacement, so to say, or the thieves ran away and left their communities, mostly out of fear, out of apprehension of maybe counter-attack, out of reprisal attack and the like. Our governor was able to meet with all the communities, because there's a template that the governor has been using since he came. That is this community-based conflict resolution. You don't resolve conflict, as you rightly said, through the use of force, through the use of guns. You negotiate. Life is give and take. And as you rightly pointed out, there is no way you lose somebody, you get a replacement for that person. No matter how many people you kill, that person can't come back. So the message has been, let the communities come together and dialogue, find out what happened, how do we go about it, how do we resolve it. Series of meetings were held. We have the traditional rulers doing a lot of work in that direction. They have been leading this crusade because that has been their traditional rule. I'm sure those of us who are familiar with history, in those days, when somebody comes into a community, the traditional rulers must know. So that's a task the governor has given to our traditional rulers, our community leaders, our religious leaders. Come together where crisis starts. Don't allow it to escalate into full-scale war. Try to see how you can manage it. And we have been succeeding in that direction. The governor, too, as I said, apart from that, has been doing it on his own as a governor, too, meeting almost all the warring communities. In fact, the last of which was the thieves, which I'm sure if you follow the events in the state, were escorted back to their hamlets. And the excursion was not done by delegation. The governor was there in person with his full cabinet members. All the villages affected, he visited and talked to them. And I want to state here with pleasure that for quite a month or two, we've not had any crisis in the state because we are following that template. Anywhere there's problem, most of the communities have evolved what to do because they are following the template. Aside from that, most of the communities afflicted by this conflict were given some form of relief. Again, I want to align myself with what you said. You cannot give everything to somebody who has lost virtually everything. But at least the little you can give shows that you care. And that is precisely what the governor did. Almost all these crisis areas were given some form of relief in terms of foodstuff, in terms of building materials, and even cash. Because there are some that really went flat because everything of theirs just went. Aside from losing loved ones, they lost all their property. So the government tried to see how they can help them leverage, make them start again, start life all over. And I will not end without mentioning the contribution of the federal authority, because the federal government has also been of immense assistance to us in terms of, the relationship between the state government and the security agencies have been very, very cordial, very, very warm. They have been part and parcel of this integration process that we've been trying to do. Aside from that, we have the sighting of some, to help us with the security situation, sighting of some security posts, as we have an additional mobile police unit around on the Makodi axis to add up to the one we have in Akwanga. And then we have the military are trying to build a barrack in Doma. And then we have this helicopter hangar to be used for surveillance in the north central zone. These are